Okay, a couple of weeks ago, Andrea and I celebrated our 23rd anniversary. One, two, three. Yeah. We did this in downtown Detroit, which is, this is a total aside. Growing up, we could go to Detroit. We would go there for Tigers games. But the practice was you drive to Detroit, you get out, you go to the game, you get back in your car, you drive back home. That was it. Detroit is incredible. And if you've watched the media, I run into people all the time, as I'm at different conferences and events and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, what's Detroit like? I mean, it looks like I can buy a $5,000 house there." It's not like that anymore. It's different. It is. It is a destination. So come to Detroit. Anyway, Andrea and I spent our 23rd anniversary down there. This is not the first time that we've stayed overnight downtown to celebrate our anniversary. We saw a show, we had dinner, we stayed at this ridiculously nice hotel. And dinner was like amazing. We ate at this place called Mad Nice. It was one of those dinners where you don't look at your phone one time and you just remember each other. Not in like a, oh yeah, you exist sort of way, but in a deeper way where you realize, holy crap, this person is actually my best friend. Which sounds obvious, right? Like, of course, your spouse should be your best friend. But here's the thing that nobody tells you about being married for over 2 decades with kids and a business and all the stuff that fills up a life. It's really easy to forget. You're not watching this, are you, Andrea? Not like in a dramatic way, not in a we're drifting apart Hallmark kind of way, just in the everyday kind of way, just in the grind of it. You're scheduling dentist appointments, figuring out who's picking up the kids from school or from practice and paying bills and answering emails, and then suddenly weeks go by where you're just doing life together instead of actually being together. So this anniversary felt less like a celebration and more like a recommitment, a chance to be able to look at this person that I've been with longer than I haven't and go, okay, yeah, this is still the most important thing. My word in 2026 is alignment. Andrea and I, along with the kids, most years we pick a word and we do this instead of resolution. It's this thing that we've done for a while now, and it's been way more helpful than any New Year's goal that I've ever set. I felt like alignment is my word this year because I have been scattered. I have felt scattered in the past, saying yes to things that didn't actually matter, building a business that was working but didn't always feel like it was mine. You know that feeling where you're like so busy, but you can't remember why? So that anniversary dinner was like the first real moment of alignment that I had felt in months. Just sitting across from Andrea, no agenda, no kid interruptions, no like, hey, we need to talk about this conversation, just us. And it hit me how much I had let that relationship run on autopilot. Not maybe necessarily this past year, but over the course of 23 years, seasons of just being on autopilot while I was off like chasing the next thing, the new idea. Yesterday, I had this great podcast interview with a woman named Skye Watterson. She's an ADHD strategist who helps entrepreneurs turn ADHD into their greatest asset. I don't know if I have ADHD. I've heard people that are diagnosed talk about it. I'm like, oh man, like I definitely resonate with some of those things. So we get into this whole conversation about how easy it is, especially if you experience ADHD or anything close to it, to lose focus on what actually matters and just deal with whatever is screaming loudest in front of you. And I realized that's exactly what I have done in my marriage. And not just in my marriage, but also in my business. I've been running Tell Studios now for over 20 years. I've built it to 7 figures. We've launched courses. I've coached hundreds of people. All good things. But somewhere along the line, it got mundane. Not in a I hate what I do sort of way. More like I stopped asking the important questions. I stopped reflecting as much. I stopped being clear on what the heck I actually want from all this. I just kept showing up and doing the work because that's what you do when you run a business. You show up, you serve your clients, you create content, you answer emails, you keep the machine running. But if you're not careful, the machine starts running you. And when I set out over 20 years ago to start this thing, that was my intention. I'm like, I'm building a business that's going to serve my life, not the other way around. Here's what I'm realizing. My relationship with Andrea, it needs intentionality. If we want our marriage to thrive and our family to thrive, we've got to be intentional. It needs me to stop and ask, what are we actually building here? And are we still aligned on what matters? My business, your business, it needs the exact same thing. I can't prioritize work over Andrea. I mean, I could, but I'm not going to. It is a non-negotiable. But my work also deserves that same level of attention and care. It deserves me asking, what is this actually for? Why are we doing this? Why am I doing this? And does this still light me up? And if not, then what needs to change? And honestly, I think I'm ready to pivot, or at least explore, lean more into the parts of my work that actually energize me instead of doing what I've always done because it works. I'm coaching more, I'm writing more, I'm building a mastermind for entrepreneurs who are successful but building alone. I'm saying no to projects that feel like obligations, and I'm trying to say way more yeses to conversations that feel alive. I got this all figured out, which I'm sure you're surprised by. I'm literally in the middle of all of this right now, trying to get things back in alignment. But that anniversary dinner reminded me that relationships that matter, whether it's with your person or your work, they don't thrive on autopilot. They need you to show up, to remember why you started, to recommit, to be willing to change direction when something is not working. So if you're feeling scattered or lost, or like you're just going through the motions with your business, I get it. That's where I have been more than once. And I'm not going to pretend that I've got some 5-step framework to fix it, or I know the magic bullet, but I do know this. You've got to stop long enough to ask the questions. What actually matters? Why am I doing this? What's working? What's not working? And then are you willing to change course if the answer isn't what you thought it would be? Maybe you need your own version of an anniversary dinner with your business. A chance to sit down, no distractions, and just remember what you're actually building and why. If you want someone to help you figure that out, that's literally what I do. Let's talk. Here's to alignment this year, to remembering what matters, to being brave enough to pivot when something's not working. I appreciate you being here. If this is helpful, hit that like button, notification bells, all the things. If this resonated and you want to talk about where you're at with your business, leave me a comment below. I'd love to hear from you, and make sure that you subscribe to the newsletter. I write this newsletter out. I recite it here. Links in the description. You can also find it at ryancoral.com. If you're interested in working one-on-one, or you're curious about my mastermind, all of that information lives over at ryancoral.com. Would love for you to check that out. But sincerely, seriously, I'm grateful to have you here. Thanks for listening, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.